There's people you're going to come across in this world that we live in that simply just can't be helped. No matter how many times you attempt to save them, guide them, put them on for their own betterment, they will prove to you time and time again that your efforts were nothing but a waste. While trying to help them from failing, you're going to be met with attitudes, defiance, and irrationality. Get out of the habit of being nice and informative to these fools. You got to cut the harness that you attach to them and let these people fall from the cliff due to their own blatant stupidity. Let me tell you about a story about a woman that I used to work with. I'm going to refer to her as SP. SP would work as a temporary worker to a company that I used to work in and would come in and do overnight shifts with me and some evening shifts with the other permanent staff. As a temporary worker, you were shown the ins and outs of where you were working and what not to do. As time goes on and staff gets more comfortable with working in the workplace, they tend to start getting too comfortable, start showing their ass for you to kiss. It is extremely unwise for you to do this, especially as a contract worker, due to how easy it is for your spot to be replaced with another worker. SP was a 5'2" brown-skinned Jamaican bitch in her early 30s with a massive bald spot on the left side of her puny fucking skull. At first, she seemed pretty cool. She has this weird little fake white woman accent that she puts on that a lot of Jamaicans who want to be sought as proper tend to use. A little defensive in some conversations at first, but will complete whatever task that's asked of her to do, which is of course what matters the most in a job. As time went on, she became more comfortable working with me. She would open up to me and tell me, I need to get a permanent job. I used to work at a few different places, but the managers and female staff always had something against me and took away my hours and tell me that they no longer need a temporary staff. At the time of her saying this, I believed her. Female managers and other female staff, especially the older women, do typically pick on the young and decent looking women that have newly come into their territory. I've seen this problem so many times play out with my own eyes, so it was believable. But shortly after continuously working together, I started to see why this balding bitch was getting kicked out of spots. Remember, when I said that as time goes by, workers tend to get too comfortable. Well, yeah, that was definitely the case for SP. This woman started to come to work with her eyes bloodshot red and her body reeking the scent of marijuana. Following this, she came to work smelling like alcohol, which one morning the manager picked up on. The manager pulled me to the side in a room and asked if I smelled what he smelled. And to save her dumb ass from getting reported and removed, I told him no, I don't smell anything she smells. Anything that he smells, she smells normal to me. Knowing damn well she drinks and smokes before she comes to work. After not reassuring this dude, the manager, and making him think that it's all in his head, I spoke to SP and said, yo, dude just pulled me to the side and said you smell like alcohol. I told him I didn't smell nothing. Before I could even get another word out, this loudmouth, ignorant, black, yellow, and green bitch starts yelling at the top of her lungs.
No, I don't smell like alcohol. You're not about to say I've been drinking in here. I don't play that shit.
I told her to lower her tone, and that she was not listening to what I was saying. The manager at this time had just walked downstairs from where we were and could have heard her with no problem and could have came upstairs to ask what was going on, making me look bad and exposing me for basically telling her what he had been thinking. Even though I had good intentions trying to help this idiot. Eventually she calmed down after me having to interrupt her fucking yelling. This was the first, but not the last sign of not to help this fool. A few weeks later, working a shift with her, the manager's boss came in bright and early in the morning and everything was good. So there was nothing that the boss could have complained about. So I thought. I go down the stairs to where Boldy is at and I see 2 frozen beef patties that come from the freezer of the job sitting at the top of her purse. I looked at SP and I pointed to her bag and said, yo, hide that. Don't let the boss see that. If she does, it's going to be a huge issue. As soon as I finish my sentence, she starts her yelling.
Hide what? I don't have to hide nothing. You're saying it like I'm stealing. This is for staff. This is not stealing.
I looked at this moron and tried to explain how it is stealing. Solely because we were told that if you take food that's meant for the people we support, it has to be eaten inside of the facility. You cannot take it for you to consume outside of the facility, as that would be theft for your own personal use. Before I could fully explain this, she starts her yelling shit again, interrupting me. I then said to her that I'm not gonna waste saying any more words to you. From that point, I never spoke to her ever again, even while working with her. When she seen that I wasn't speaking to her or paying her any mind, she started going out her way to throw subliminal messages. This shit is a common tactic that people do when you give them no attention. Their pathetic asses want you to acknowledge their worthless existence so bad. A week later, she got into multiple situations with multiple staff members. One of the situations was that she fed one of the clients that we work for pork, even though she was told that the client was a Muslim. And then this dumbass decided to be the one to tell the client's father that he was given pork, and the client's father lost it and cursed her out. A week later, she was reported to be uncoachable and was said to be yelling and rude to the people that she worked with. She also was found to be a fucking rat, informing every single thing that was happening on shifts to management via text, completely destroying the trust and function of every shift between her and the other workers. I put my 2 cents into management about this idiot, and she was removed permanently from the workplace. She kept calling management nonstop and asking why she was taken off the schedule, only to be ignored, and now out of a place she was able to get 40 hours in to feed her no ass having flat chested self. There are many people who are like this that you will come across. They let their emotions always overpower any chance of rational thinking that they have and end up grenading themselves, causing more problems for themselves. Avoid giving advice to them as soon as you can identify that they are like this. Let them continuously self-sabotage themselves while you watch from the throne and laugh at their self-induced downfall.